and like I mentioned before, they really upgraded the mobility of the enemies, and just changed how they generally work or move. Because in Dead Space 1 and 2, those enemies have a very specific set way that they walk. And they changed things up. The enemies are more difficult now because of changes they've made. Which I don't think is a bad thing, but I think it threw people off, and maybe they didn't like it as much. Oh man, I really gotta upgrade the rate of fire on this thing. Please reload, thank you. Like, since we still have low power, we're able to see the 6 eyes of the mask still. Rate of fire? Maybe? Yes. Sure, let's read it now. Yeah, CAF for the CMS Roanoke. Notice to all officers, effective immediately, Admiral Marjorie Graves is confined to quarters until further notice. Post a guard around the clock to monitor her activities. Under no circumstances is anyone to talk to her. Fleet Commander now rests with me, or Fleet Command now rests with me. Reroute all requests through planet-side channels. Major General Spencer Mahau. Some biogel. Head to the service deck.
They're coming out of the woodwork! Fire! Fire! Isaac, where the hell are you?
Almost to the crossover tube.
They just keep coming!
Sir, we're running low on ammo!
Make a barricade. Just keep them out a little longer.
All right. What's up, man? Oh, what we got? Is that a modification to a classic enemy? Instead of the babies from Dead Space 1 and 2, because of, since this is a military operation and program, there are no babies, but the military has dogs, and so now oh, there it is. This military has dogs, and I think it's a nice little remix. One thing you can't accuse them of is just reusing assets. They did make a lot of changes, and it's admittedly a lot were for the worst. Case in point, making this into a co-op shooter, but some were for the better, like changing up the enemy design. But this is still a very, very flawed game. Hey, attention, General Mahau, from Corporal Belknap. My apologies for the excessive noise, sir, but there is not much I can do short of sedating the entire canine unit. The dogs began acting up the moment we went into orbit. Several have tried to claw their way out of their cages, ripping their paws apart in the process. I'd like to request sending them down to the planet sooner, rather than later. It would be good for them to stretch their legs. Dogs are a lot like people, and being cooped up for so long will make anyone stir crazy. And it's like, well, That's one of the reasons why they're acting weird. Another reason, I guess they're more sensitive to marker signal than humans are. It might transmit on a subsonic wavelength that humans can't hear, but dogs can. So it's just so badass being able to see the helmet vision like that.
Norton, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Alright, I think that's holding them for now.
Good. The SOS is coming from directly above me. And it looks like I found the ship's primary generator. If I can get power going, it should unlock the crossover for you.
Alright, what about you?
There's an elevator here that goes straight up the spire. I'll meet you at Ellie's coordinates.
They restore power. That involves these rings. Don't worry, I'm not entirely stupid. I do remember some of this. Don't worry, I saw that dog thing. There it is. Okay, may have to just activate all these first and then turn them around. That'll activate whatever enemies that it wants to. There we go. You hold it. Okay, so I was being an idiot and just like twisting them individually. And you just hold it down. Oh, and it tells you it's right on his back. I didn't even see. That's not good. Did you guys see where that thing is? Well, and now it's really easy to see right there where it's just gold. Right below Isaac's head. Sort of wish I had kept that crappy submachine gun.
Hey, we have power. The crossover just opened up.
You're welcome.
Rosen, Locke, you stay put. Isaac Carver will rendezvous at the spire. Got it.
There you are. I still have a lot of ammo. That looks very nice. The art design is they still got it. The load times are a little worse, however. Checking our badass suit while we're waiting. See, as you may or may not notice, since we have power back on, you can no longer see the lights from the helmet. Which is a little depressing for me, because I think those are one of the best art design choices in this game.
Oh, God, you found us.
Oh, Ellie, baby. I knew you were too stubborn to die.
Captain, is this him?
Yeah, that's him.
I say Clark. Great to meet you. Austin Buckle, Marker Ops. This here is Jennifer Santos, our little lady with the big brain.
It's true you can decipher the marker script. This mission might still have a chance.
Isaac, thank you for coming.
Like I had a choice.
I know, I'm sorry. But I have so much to tell you.
All right, come on. We have to get out of here now.
No, not yet. Isaac, we need to stop the marker. The trail ends at the Admiral's quarters. She'd written marker school all over the walls. The answers are in there. I know it. We cannot leave until we know what it says.
Yeah, well, then let Isaac handle the translating. We're leaving now. I got Buckle, you get Santos. Let's go.
Go on, take care of your crew. They need you more than I do.
The ultimate betrayal. I do like that Isaac was a celebrity for that one guy. But then, not so much with Ellie. Everyone else is, Ellie and Norton, I mean. The system is extremely remote, beyond even the most distant settlement. It was a terrible risk, shocking and blind as we did. But we had no other choice. If we want any hope of stopping this marker epidemic, we have to follow their signals. We have to find the source. Santos has deployed a shock beacon for the Eudora to follow, and we are now headed into a cluster of debris in orbit. Possibly the remains of an ancient fleet. As we closed in to investigate, our ship was attacked by automated mines. We jettisoned into the debris field and managed to stow aboard a fairly intact ship, the CMS Roanoke. There's no power, but there is an air trapped within these walls. I removed a piece of shrapnel from Bucknell and managed to stabilize his condition. After setting up the stress beacon, Santos and I set out to investigate the ship. We soon discovered the Admiral had been locked in her quarters, presumably for going crazy. When we forced open the door to her room, we discovered a complex mapping of his former military's expedition. The Admiral knew something about the markers and how they relate to this planet, but it's all written in marker gibberish. Only one man I know can decipher this. I only hope Robert can find him and follow the shock beacon as planned. If he doesn't, I fear our small group will either starve to death or suffocate, and mankind will go extinct as the markers continue to spread. So that was a window from Ellie. Lots of ammo, which is very nice. Lots of ammo. A plasma core? Let's see what kind of new weapon we can upgrade or create. Oops, sorry, my microphone was wasn't as close to my face as I thought. Okay, we're actually going to dismantle this thing. We use heavy standard frame. Creates a force gun. What happens if I put the oh, I get a force gun and line gun if I do this. And we're going to put a rate of fire on the bottom part. There we go. So we have a new weapon here. Actually, not a huge fan of the upgrade system. I think it leaves a lot to be desired.